ahead and discuss, because we do have ourselves a Marvel television series that's set to go ahead and drop this upcoming January. I know a lot of us were certainly hoping that we would get ourselves WandaVision here by the end of December, but the middle of January certainly not bad at all. But WandaVision, while certainly not slated to be the original Disney Plus series from Marvel that was going to go ahead and kickstart this things off, unfortunately with the pandemic, WandaVision now has been pushed to the forefront. But it does open up a ton of questions. We still have a lot of questions scratching our heads as to what exactly is WandaVision certainly going to be. I mean, we get the gist of it, that it's probably going to pay some homage to classic sitcoms and things like that. But deep down inside, what exactly is WandaVision certainly going to explore? And we wind up getting that topic talked about here from Empire Magazine, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kevin Feige talking about the upcoming WandaVision series itself. It says, WandaVision explores Scarlet Witch's ill-defined power set, says Kevin Feige, and some brand new exclusive images also of the two. But it says, ever since her introduction into the post-credit sequence of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, the MCU's Wanda Maximoff has always been an ensemble player in its subsequent superhero smackdowns, realigning her allegiances in Age of Ultron, joining the airport fray in Civil War, and making sure Thanos knew exactly what she was capable of in the finale of Endgame. But she's never been center stage before until now. In WandaVision, the first of the MCU's upcoming Disney run of limited series, she's the star of the show, pairing up once again with Paul Bettany. It does say here, it says, Elizabeth Olsen's character, aka Scarlet Witch, might have proved she was more powerful than we were ever aware at the end of Endgame. So Kevin Feige says, if you look at the Infinity Saga, I don't think any single person has gone through more pain and trauma than Wanda Maximoff, and no character seems to be as powerful as Wanda Maximoff. And no character has a power set that is as ill-defined and unexplored as Wanda Maximoff. He says, so it seems exploring that would be worthwhile post-Endgame. What else? Who else is aware of that power? Where did it come from? Did the Mind Stone unlock it, is what it said. And then the rest of the article goes on to talk about how it's not just going to pay homage to shows like Dick Van Dyke or I Love Lucy and Bewitched, that it's really going to be going through decades of sitcoms, all the way, I would assume, if anything, from Full House. But it does go on to say we go up to the Modern Family and Office style of sitcoms as well. The whole, talk to the camera, shaky camera documentary style. So the WandaVision is going to be trippy. It definitely feels more like an homage just to classic television or just television in general. So it's going to be really fun to kind of spread over all those decades, especially when you go into like The Office and Modern Family kind of style. But really, when I think about this article here, Stuart, I love the idea of Kevin Feige talking about the power set for WandaVision, just because she really is sort of this gigantic mystery, right? The first that we ever heard of her was the idea of her being experimented on along with her brother back in the Winter Soldier and things like that, with the use of the Mind Stone. But clearly there's certainly more to Wanda at the end of the day, which we got the opportunity to see a little bit more in Endgame. So I'm excited that they get the opportunity to go ahead and express this. So let me go ahead and throw this over to you, Stuart. Now that you hear that Kevin Feige mentions that we will be focusing on her power set, discovering clearly a lot more, what are you expecting to see from this series? And the big question of the week really is, do you think that this is going to be the introduction to mutants, or at least should I say the concept of mutants, when it starts possibly starting off with Scarlet Witch? What do you think here, Stuart?
Yes, I actually would agree I would be predicting right now that they are probably going to go in that direction of introducing mutants through this television show. And the way I think they're going to do it is going to be kind of similar to kind of how the Marvel Wikipedia page online now has kind of changed her overall character analysis. Where
have they?
Yeah. like essentially the way it was before is that she was experimented on and then given powers through that. But now, it was after Disney had bought all of the Fox assets that changed, and it became that, she was experimented on and it unlocked her powers that she already had. So I feel like that's something that they're going to be exploring in the show, is the idea that it wasn't the experimentations that gave her powers. It was just there to unlock them, essentially. Like, she had those powers the whole time. And I think that's how we're going to get the idea of mutants in the MCU.
Man, I hope you're right, Stuart. This is something that I've been really wanting to see for actually happen for quite some time. But yeah, I always felt like this could be the easiest way to kind of start lining up those breadcrumbs, if you will. Do you think that they'll actually reference the idea of mutants in here, like actually drop the term mutants, or do you think it'll be something that's discovered but not quite sure as to what it is that this extra potential is? Like an undiscovered sort of new secret that nobody really in the MCU has ever been exposed to, or do you think or what do you think?
I don't think they're directly going to use the word mutant, but they are going to say something like, her having a mutated gene or something like that.
I got you. Yeah, I'm very much feeling like this is certainly going to be the beginning of that storyline. I wouldn't be surprised if this travels from not only her particular series, but maybe even all the way into something like, say, the Eternals, and then even into Doctor Strange also. So I'm really fascinated to kind of see how they plan on introducing the MCU to mutant them, because I feel like Wanda's got to be the key to that. I mean, I feel like at least it would probably be the easiest in regards to the easiest way of introducing them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I really want to see it. It's funny because when we were doing A+ opinions on our other YouTube page, I did do a theory video in regards to how mutants would be originated into the MCU, and I'm pretty sure I utilized the introduction of Scarlet Witch here in WandaVision as the starting off point, if you will. I'm still very much under the assumption that I don't know if Wanda is going to sort of unlock that potential and be the one responsible for creating mutants. Because I have heard you mention also, Stuart, similar to House of M, how she said, no more mutants. Maybe the concept of saying more mutants, or at least just saying mutants, right? Like just creating some sort of strand, or activating something that's just deep down inside the human DNA, or whatever the case may be. I can honestly see Wanda sort of activating that, and then us getting even further information and a history of the mutant gene in something like Eternals. Maybe it does go back sort of that far. Like, I would love to see them somehow introduce the concept of mutants, and not to say it's the same as Inhumans and their Terrigen Mist, if you will, but maybe utilizing that as like a concept as to how to introduce the mutant strain. I think that would be pretty interesting also. Yeah, WandaVision definitely has my attention, and of course that means Doctor Strange definitely has my attention also. But guys, listen, we want to know your thoughts now that you hear Kevin Feige talking about that. Yes, they will in fact explore Wanda's abilities. Definitely let us know your thoughts in regards to that in the comment section, or the live chat below.